before I could get to them, they work on what's called a choice sheet. And this choice sheet, and I'll give a copy. There's one for upper grades, and then there's a choice sheet for lower grades as well. What the choice sheet does is they sit quietly and reflect while they wait on me. And it's like, what choice did you make? And it'll say things like, I didn't follow directions, I hurt someone's body, I hit, kick, punch someone, hurt someone's property, and the list just goes on to where it's even I left my assigned area without permission. It gives the child an opportunity to take accountability for their own actions first. Then the next set is kind of what was happening beforehand. And what that does is that gives an insight to adults for us to understand, okay, what were you doing beforehand? What made you think about this? And so it's things like, what was going on? I was sad, I was angry, I was jealous, and I'm learning a lot of behaviors come from in jealousy right now, and it comes from their feelings being hurt, especially with girls. With my feelings are hurt because she's talking to her and she's no longer talking to me. Then the next question is, how did my choice hurt me? And that's for K through 2. And they can say, I didn't get to learn as much. I feel more upset. My classmates were upset with me, or I lost a privilege. Over here with our larger kids, it is, what did you want? And a lot of times they just want someone to pay attention to them. They want to have fun. It's so funny sometimes for them to say, I want to get revenge. And they do. They're like, they do not forget. And then it goes on, each choice sheet, and I'm looking at the K2 one and the K through 5. It asks, well, how do you feel now after it? It asks, how did your choice hurt you? How did your choice hurt someone else? Because we want them to understand, and as I mentioned earlier, how their behaviors impact others. Next it asks, how will you make a better choice? What will you do differently next time? Then naturally on their own, and with the older kids, they have a think web where we go into it a little bit in more detail here. A choice think sheet where they go and they have to get a little bit more detailed. And typically if it's 2 kids together, once they finish, we go through their choice think sheets together. Then afterwards, we have our apology sheets where they say who they're going to apologize to and why they need to apologize. Oftentimes, and this is where the consequence portion comes in, you ask the student, well, what do you think needs to happen? And sometimes I have to tone down the consequence because the child will tell me, and that's the part of restorative practices, is for them to take ownership. And the child will tell me what they feel needs to happen. Well, I need to sit with you and do a restorative group for the next 2 days during my recess. Even though we don't take recess because we're not allowed, they will come to me. And when they come to me, I'll show you some of the activities that we do, particularly with the kids who get into scuffles. We do relationship building activities with them. They'll tell you, I think we need to call my mom. If the behaviors are a little bit more severe, the parent is called in and we have a restorative conference with the administrative team, either the counselor or myself, it just depends on the situation, as well as the student, to talk about next steps and what plan do we need to put in place to help this child be more successful.